There is a place in Japan where ordinary people cannot go. But in that place, people are trained from childhood to be terrifying and are made into warriors who can kill 100 people alone. The story begins with a scene in a bar where an old man is tattooing a gangster on his back, but just then, the gangster's men come and give him an envelope containing black sand. These thugs did not understand the meaning of the sand, but seeing it, the old man trembled with fear. The old man explains that this black sand means the world's most dangerous shadow ninja is coming, because many years ago, this old man had faced those warriors and knew how dangerous they were. Then, this old man shows them an old scar on his chest. Actually, this old man's heart is on the left side, and that is why this old man survived the ninja's attack. Just then, suddenly, one of them is decapitated, and a terrifying silence descends. Then, a wire pulls one of the people standing there upwards, and his body falls back down in pieces. These were shadow ninjas, who attacked in the dark, and within moments, they eliminated everyone, after which we see a ninja emerge from the darkness. However, after this, we are told the story of the Ozunu clan of Japan. This is a lineage of terrifying ninjas, whose leader is Lord Ozunu. They collect children from all over the world, and, after rigorous training, turn them into dangerous ninjas. All wealthy people know these ninjas, but ordinary people are unaware of their existence, and anyone could hire them to kill enemies for at least 100 kilograms of gold. And this Ozunu clan has been doing this work in the dark for the last few hundred years. It is even said that these ninjas took the lives of the prime ministers of 2 countries. However, one day, Lord Ozunu brings a child named Raizo here because the boy's parents had abandoned him. Ozunu recognized the boy's talent, that he would become the leader of the Ozunu clan in the future, and his rigorous training begins at the age of 10. His body was covered in scars, punishments for mistakes made during his training. According to them, a ninja must always remain hidden. Raizo was made to walk on wooden floors, and if there was even a slight sound, Juno would strike the soles of his feet hard. The pain prevented him from sleeping properly. At that time, a girl named Kimiko would come and apply ointment to his wounds. She was also training to be a ninja here, but they were taught to discard any kind of emotion within themselves. However, Kimiko was different from others. She felt it was wrong to kill anyone. In this way, Raizo and Kimiko grew up, but they still hadn't had any significant conversations. They would speak to each other from a distance. And now, Raizo had become the most skilled warrior in the Ozunu clan. But he loses when he faces his senior Takeshi, because Takeshi attacks him deceitfully. Instead of scolding him, Takeshi insults Raizo by calling him weak. He forcefully strikes Raizo's stomach with his fingers, causing him to writhe in pain. In the morning, Ozunu sees Raizo preparing for his training again. He was quite impressed by his eagerness. A few days later, Raizo defeats all his opponents while blindfolded, but Kimiko did not like this fighting. Raizo often explained to her, "If Ozunu finds out about this, he will tear out your heart." But Kimiko tells him, "My heart is with you," which greatly surprises Raizo. However, one day, Kimiko is assigned the task of killing someone, but when Kimiko couldn't do it, Ozunu slashes her face with a knife and locks her in a cage. At night, Raizo secretly visits her and gives her water to drink. A few days later, at night, Kimiko starts to climb over the wall to escape from there. She calls Raizo to join her, but her attempt fails, and she is caught, so now she is going to be executed. Takeshi strikes her heart in front of everyone, taking her life. That day, Raizo was completely broken from the inside, but still, he could do nothing. Sometime after this, in Berlin, a girl named Mika finds some evidence of the ninja's existence. She comes to her boss Maslow with this evidence, but Maslow does not believe it. Mika shows him proof, saying, "Look at how the money of the rich moves around, and how these ninjas are involved in the deaths of leaders." Now Maslow also becomes interested in knowing more about this, and they start investigating. At one point, they learn that another detective had also collected similar evidence, but he was soon fired from his job, and later someone murdered him. Meanwhile, Raizo had also come to Berlin for a job. He was alone in a secluded house. He would train rigorously all day. One day, he goes to a laundromat, where he sees a woman. As soon as Raizo sees her, he realizes that she is also a ninja. And then they attack each other, and a fierce fight ensues. But in the blink of an eye, we see Raizo stuff the girl into a washing machine and leave. Over there, Mika comes to meet the wife of the murdered detective. She says, "My husband was very brave, but after investigating this case, he became so frightened that he put many locks on every door and window of the house. There was light in every corner of the room so that no ninja could come from anywhere, but the day they came, they turned off all the lights." The next day, an officer comes to Mika's office, because Mika was thinking too much about things that were not her job. That night, when Mika was returning to her home, she saw that the whole street was dark, and as soon as she entered her room, a ninja attacked her. But the surprising thing was that another ninja saved her life by eliminating all the other ninjas, and this was none other than Raizo himself. Then, a scene from a little earlier is shown, where we see Raizo brutally kill someone, and after this mission he goes to meet the other ninjas. Then, Lord Ozunu says, "We are proud of you," but just then, Raizo stabs him in the face. The other ninjas beat Raizo badly for attacking their leader and throw him off the roof, but fortunately, Raizo falls into the water and survives. After this, he starts working against the ninjas. He began to foil their every mission, and that is why he had saved Mika. Then they both go to a hotel, where they change clothes, and then Mika informs Maslow that she is with Raizo, but there were orders to capture Raizo. She knew Raizo was not their enemy, but she had to follow orders, so when Maslow goes to meet Mika and Raizo, he arrests him. After this, he is tied up in a secluded prison. When Mika learns that Maslow is also involved in this, she goes to talk to him, but Maslow refuses to release him, saying that Raizo will only be safe in prison. Later that night, when Mika went to give Raizo water, Raizo told her that the ninjas would arrive there at any moment. Mika also warned Maslow, but by then, it was too late. The lights went out, and ninjas emerged from the darkness. Against the ninjas, the officers' weapons and their strength proved insufficient. They started eliminating them. Then, Mika unlocked Raizo's chains and freed him. After that, while fighting the ninjas, he told Mika to run away. Although Raizo was the best warrior of the Ozunu clan, it was difficult for him to handle so many ninjas at once. Finally, Raizo and Takeshi ended up fighting in the street. Takeshi was about to kill Raizo with his sword when Mika, from behind, ran him over with her car. After that, she took Raizo to a hotel. Although he was badly injured, he refused to go to the doctor. Then, when he took out a tracking device, Maslow was able to locate him. When the police arrived there, only Mika was present. She informed them that the ninjas had taken Raizo away 10 minutes ago. Raizo was presented before Lord Ozunu. He gave Raizo one last chance to apologize, but Raizo said, "Apologize for what?" Hearing this, Ozunu's anger reached its peak, because years ago, he had thought this boy would become the leader of the Ozunu clan in the future. He made Raizo stand in Kimiko's place, and then struck him 3 times with his fingers. Usually, one strike from Ozunu was enough to kill a person, but nothing happened to Raizo. Instead, the tracking device that was in his mouth came out. At that exact moment, the entire police force attacked the place, creating chaos, and many ninjas were killed in the explosion. Many lives were lost in the clash between these two groups. On the other hand, Raizo was surrounded by Takeshi and his men. Now, in the blink of an eye, Raizo confronted all those people with all his might. Then, Raizo and Takeshi faced each other. Finally, Raizo won here and even cut off a part of Takeshi's body. Now it was Ozunu's turn. He saw Ozunu sitting comfortably in a room, even though there was a terrible explosion outside. Suddenly, Ozunu vanished from there and stood behind Raizo and attacked him. With just one blow, Raizo was thrown far away. Then, both drew their swords and faced each other. Ozunu again gave him a chance to apologize and said, "I am your father. I brought you here and raised you from childhood until today." But Raizo said, "I am no one's son, and I will breathe the air of freedom only after I finish you." And as soon as he lunged at Ozunu, he vanished again. Just then, Mika arrived there. But seizing the opportunity, Ozunu thrust a sword into Mika's chest. Seeing this, Raizo remembered his lover. Then, with one swift movement of his sword, Raizo killed Ozunu. After that, Raizo brought Mika outside, and the doctors, after examining her, found out that Mika's heart was on the left side, so she would survive. In the end, Raizo broke down the wall of his academy, just as his girlfriend Kimiko had wanted. And in this way, forever keeping Kimiko's memory in his heart, he left for his next mission. So friends, how did you like the video? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more such videos. We will talk in the next video.